Over the past few days, U.S.-led efforts to end the war in Ukraine have gained unprecedented momentum. In Miami, Florida, American, European, Ukrainian, and Russian officials held parallel rounds of talks spanning 3 days. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witko described these discussions as productive and constructive, with a clear focus on aligning positions between Washington, Kyiv, and European partners for a potential path toward ending nearly 4 years of conflict. The Ukrainian delegation, led by Rustem Umerov and Lieutenant General Andrei Hanatov, met with U.S. and European counterparts, including Witko, Jared Kushner, and senior White House officials. The talks concentrated on refining a 20-point U.S.-drafted peace plan, coordinating U.S. and multilateral security guarantees, and developing an economic recovery framework to rebuild Ukraine after years of war. Ukraine reaffirmed its commitment to a fair and lasting peace, thanking the United States and allies for their leadership and support. The discussions also focused heavily on timelines and sequencing next steps to ensure that any peace plan would provide a dignified foundation for a stable future. But there's a major sticking point. Russia has clearly stated its intention to retain control over the territories it currently occupies, while Kyiv has repeatedly rejected any territorial concessions. This difference has made the negotiations incredibly complex, and every moment carries risk. Meanwhile, parallel to Ukraine-focused discussions, Witko and Trump advisor Jared Kushner met with Russian President Vladimir Putin's special envoy, Kirill Dmitriev. Witko described these meetings as constructive, with Russia expressing appreciation for U.S. involvement, although no concrete outcomes were publicly announced. Dmitriev hinted at further engagement, saying, "Thank you, Miami. Next time, Moscow." While this suggests ongoing talks, the Kremlin has adopted a cautious stance. Putin's foreign policy aide, Yuri Ushakov, warned that European involvement in revising U.S. peace proposals could potentially undermine chances for a lasting settlement, even as he admitted he had not reviewed the documents directly. The core question remains: will Moscow accept the current peace framework? U.S. intelligence indicates that Russia does not currently have the capability to conquer all of Ukraine or directly threaten Europe, but uncertainty still looms. The European Union and NATO want to avoid a scenario where the U.S. military is pulled into direct conflict with Russia, yet the risk remains high. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, speaking on NBC's Meet the Press, emphasized that tougher measures could follow if talks fail. He mentioned targeting ships carrying sanctioned Russian oil and even suggested designating Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism over the alleged deportation of Ukrainian children. This underscores the high stakes involved in the ongoing negotiations. Leaked drafts of the U.S. proposed peace plan reportedly include provisions requiring Ukraine to remain outside NATO, limit its military size, and relinquish control over parts of the Donbas region in exchange for Western security guarantees. Ukraine and its European allies have firmly rejected these terms. From Moscow's perspective, any settlement must include Ukrainian neutrality and recognition of the realities on the ground. This fundamental disagreement has kept the situation precarious, leaving world leaders and citizens alike on edge. The implications are massive, not just for Ukraine, but for Europe, NATO, and global security. If a secretive U.S.-Russia alignment begins to take shape, it could reshape international alliances and create a geopolitical shift unlike anything we've seen in decades. So, what should you take away from this? First, the world is watching closely, and the decisions made over the next few weeks could determine the course of the conflict. Second, this is a reminder that diplomacy is complex and often invisible to the public eye. If you want to stay updated on all developments around Ukraine, NATO, and international security, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join our community for in-depth analysis. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. How do you see these negotiations unfolding, and what might this mean for the future of Europe? Want to stay ahead on Ukraine, NATO, and global security updates? Subscribe now, hit the bell, and join our community for the latest analysis. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you.